All right, guys, my nephew Hagen is in the chair today. And I had no idea when he walked in, but he said to cut his mullet off. So today is the day. We're gonna chop it off, give him a bald fade with a little design on the sides. I'm just gonna start off with the number 3 all the way closed. This is on my Babyliss FXOne, my black FXs. And you can see I'm just gonna allow that clipper to feed up into the top. I actually just showed it, I forgot. I was doing a one-on-one on this day and I actually had somebody there observing. So you may see a few things that I'm showing them, but we're just gonna work our way all the way around with the number 3, connecting into what's on top, and then we can do the fade on the sides. I'm going to start off the fade on the sides by punching in my ball guideline. These are my black FX trimmers. They actually are super sharp, but my clipper with the MIM blade gapped pretty close will take the line out. So we're just going to punch it in, contour into his head shape. I'm going to drop it slightly in the back, go ahead and ball out everything underneath that. Then we can come in with the shaver and get it down to skin before we start our first step. I'm going to set my open guideline with my Lithium FXs. The lever opens up a little bit further, so this is going to give me a quite long open section, making it easier to blend into the one up above that. And then we'll come back with our black FXs and start to work this line out from the bottom. Now we're going to work the line out from the bottom with the clipper all the way closed. Like I said, this is the black FX, and with the clipper closed, it will take that bald line out. So we use it closed at the bottom, halfway open, halfway into the section, and of course, we set our guideline with the lever all the way open. Once we move through that, if there's any dark spots, we can just use our lever, start with it open, close it up slightly until those dark spots go away. Also using the corner of the clipper to make sure we don't cause any damage. Our next step will be with the one guard all the way open, and we're going to follow the same contour of the guideline below it, setting in another guideline. And then lately I've been going ahead and connecting everything above that before I take that last line out at the bottom. So we'll move on after this immediately to a number 2 closed. We started off with a number 3 closed. We'll work through this line. I know no matter what I do, the number 2 closed is not going to take the line all the way out. So after I'm done with the 2 closed, we'll come in with the 1.5. That should tie it pretty much together. And sometimes if you set the guideline too sharp with the 1 open, you will need that to clean it all the way up before we move on to that last guideline. So you can see here, back with the 1 open, we're gonna just touch this up. Not much to do, but you guys can see a little bit of a line in between. I don't know what he was doing yawning this whole haircut. He must have been just super tired. But one guard all the way open, clean that up a little bit. Then we will close it up and start to clean up the line underneath. So now it's closed. And if you notice, I'm going above the line. I can't just attack the line. I know that I'm gonna need the half guard on that line to take it all the way out. So I'm going slightly above it, right underneath where the 1 open was. Then after that, we will use the half guard, half open. That's gonna be our magic eraser, as I've always called it, to clean up that last line in between. Now we're gonna come in with that half guard, half open, and just clean up anything that's left behind from that 1 guard closed. Now I'm not liking this spot, you guys can see from the ear forward, so we're gonna come back with the one open and just touch that up. The detail work at the end of the haircut is really what's gonna bring it all together, so we're just gonna touch this up, make sure that we're happy with it. You guys will see, I think right here, when he tilted his head, totally changed from the shadow, making that look so much worse. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. If we need to touch it up in the end, we can. So we'll go ahead and line up the C cup, and we're gonna move on to the other side. All right, moving on to the other side, guys. He asked for a tic-tac-toe in his head, which I've done a long time ago. I did kind of a version of this. Looking back now on this haircut, I wish I didn't go ahead and do the bald guideline, but I wanted to make sure it matched. You guys will see in the end that there's gonna be just barely enough hair to see this bottom line, but essentially we're gonna do 2 parts going from front to back with some vertical, kind of those notch parts I like to do. Basically gonna give him that tic-tac-toe that he asked for, but without looking just silly in the side of his head. So I'm just gonna kind of get it etched in now. And now we're gonna fade out that last section underneath it using the same steps as before. Now moving on to the top, kind of a simplified version of the DFS formula. If you guys noticed in the beginning, we took the number 3 into the top. It's gonna leave a little bit of a weight line on top, but we're essentially gonna part it down the middle, take the hair over to the side, just like we would on the DFS formula, and set that hair right on top of that initial number 3. Once we've taken it to both sides, we can take it straight up, take off any peaks that are left, and we'll be done with the scissor work. Now that everything's pretty much done, we're gonna come in and just detail that line work. Like I said, I didn't spend too much time. Now that the fade's done, not much hair left on that second line, so we're just gonna come back in, punch that in, make sure it looks nice and sharp before we add some product and do the finished style. Now I'm gonna come in on dry hair, add some Tomb45 Indestructible clay, my absolute favorite product for a messy look, and we'll get him that finished style that he's looking for. All right, so there it is, the finished cut. Got rid of the mullet, nice little skin fade. I didn't love the parts on the side, but they're all right. You know, when he asked for a tic-tac-toe, I didn't really know how it was gonna turn out anyway, but nice, messy, long crop. His mom actually asked to leave the length pretty much, so that's why it is so long in the front. Definitely would have cut it a little bit more, but that is it. If you guys liked it, smash that thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We are almost to 150K subscribers, and I appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna leave you another video right here to watch, and I will catch you guys in the next video.